here's a riddle for you. What's something everybody's gotta do, it takes up almost all of your time, and you don't get to stop until you're 60? Put your guesses in now, folks. Is it using the bathroom without diapers? Maybe gooning? No, it's
Your career!
I've worked lots of odd jobs in the past. Maintenance assistant, parking garage cleaner, camp counselor, that sort of thing. Minimum wage work that university students take to pay for their overpriced dorm room and 10-cent cup ramen lunches. Those jobs all had their ups and downs, but there's one that really stands out as the worst. The cream of the crap, as the French would say. That job was catering. Last summer, I worked for a cidery that doubled as an event venue. I interviewed for a maintenance position, setting up tables, mowing lawns, fixing light bulbs, because that's what I knew how to do. I've also really liked working maintenance in the past because you can just listen to music while you're mowing lawns and tune everything else out. Also, you don't have to talk to anyone. That was a pretty big plus for me. At the end of our interview, one of my managers, we'll call her Gertrude, offered me the job immediately, which, by the way, is a huge red flag. If anyone offers you a job that quickly, run for the hills. They're probably gonna sacrifice you to Jeff Bezos in order to appease their investors and increase their market shares. I'm pretty sure that's what managers do. Anyway, I stupidly accepted, and a couple weeks later showed up for my first day at work. And I immediately notice the vibes are off. Firstly, everyone else has a uniform. I do not. I didn't know we even had uniforms. I find Gertrude and ask her, "So, what should I do first?" Expecting her to get me raking leaves, mowing lawns, something related to handiwork. Instead, she tells me they're having a barbecue and I need to sell tickets. She gives me a menu, 4 rolls of tickets, and sets me up at a table with a cash box and a card reader. And then she leaves. This is already my worst nightmare. I cannot handle retail jobs. I'm a super anxious person, incredibly introverted, and I don't do well under pressure. So dealing with the general public makes me wanna that. Not to mention, I have no idea how to work a card reader because I'm not supposed to be doing this because I was hired on as maintenance. So I just start taking money and handing out tickets because what else was I supposed to do? There were 4 kinds of tickets: food, snack, drink, and cider, all at different prices. Until Gertrude shows up again and starts changing the menu. She changes the price for food tickets and tells me not to hand out snack tickets anymore and to use drink tickets instead because they're the same price. That makes no sense because we have plenty of snack tickets left and this is just gonna confuse everyone. But she's the boss, so I do as I'm told, thinking, alright, I know people say customer service is awful, but I'm sure it can't be that bad.
Excuse me? 5 minutes ago, food tickets were $3. Why are they $5 now? And why did you stop handing out snack tickets?
Sorry, ma'am. My manager says we can't
Unbelievable. How are my 17 children supposed to get their hot dogs now? Come on everyone, we're leaving.
And that's about how my first day went. So to all of you retail workers out there, I'm so sorry. I could never do what you do. Virtual hug. Everyone, bring it in. You're okay. You're okay. That's how I found out I was not actually hired as maintenance, but as a server. So I spent that summer doing laundry and dishes, setting up tables, serving food, and cleaning up leftovers. The worst part is there were maintenance workers, but they were hired by an entirely different company. The company I applied to was never in charge of maintenance. So their ad listing was literally 100% a lie. And for those of you wondering, I did eventually get a uniform. And let's just say, food isn't the only thing I was serving.
Yes, queen.
When I started at the cidery, I had 2 managers, Gertrude, who was not my favorite person, and Beth, who was actually pretty cool. One day in the work group chat, I get a message from Beth that she and Gertrude are both quitting due to quote-unquote problems with upper management. This was a surprise. Nothing seemed wrong at the time, and they didn't even give 2 weeks notice. Now that our managers were both gone, the higher-ups had to scramble to find replacements, and they picked Karen. Karen was built like a hobbit with the most stereotypical let me speak to your manager haircut I've ever seen. Her personality was, how do I put this nicely? If given the choice to either speak to Karen for 5 minutes or drink spoiled milk filled with razor blades and cyanide, let's just say I'd have my fill of calcium for the rest of my life, because I wouldn't be alive anymore. That's the joke. Karen was not a manager. She was an accountant who worked on the other side of the city with zero experience in catering. I have no clue how she got the job, but she did say, quote, "I have the owner wrapped around my finger." I thought that was something only Disney villains said, but evidently it applies to real-life villains as well. Karen didn't really get along with anyone, but she especially despised our main cook. The two would often have shouting matches in the middle of the kitchen, and ultimately, he quit because of her. Now I'm starting to understand what problems with upper management meant. Whatever relationship Karen had with the owner gave her an iron grip on this place. She was our very own personal dictator. I almost feel bad for Gertrude now. Almost. Thankfully though, after months of torture, Karen brought about her own downfall. I heard this secondhand from some other coworkers, so I can't verify its validity, but it's the best I've got. As the story goes, when asked about Julia's performance, one of my coworkers, Karen said,
"Well, it doesn't matter. Julia won't be around long enough to make any more mistakes."
Now, I took that to mean we don't need to worry about her because she'll probably be fired soon anyway. However, Julia interpreted that as, "I am going to assassinate this employee for not doing her job." And Julia didn't actually do anything wrong, by the way. This is all Karen's fault, of course. Things were tense between everyone for a long time until rumors of a lawsuit started floating around. That caught the owner's attention, so he smartened up and sent Karen back through the portal to hell from whence she came. We got a new manager, and she was actually very nice. I still ended up quitting because I cannot handle catering. I talked to one bridezilla and immediately handed in my 2 weeks notice. Bridezillas are real, y'all, and they are scary. But quitting that job was the best decision I ever made. Now, maybe you're thinking, he's probably embellishing. I doubt it was as bad as he's saying it was. Well, let me hit you with a fact that'll probably change your mind. Over the 4 months I worked there, 17 people quit. I started keeping track for fun after the first 5 or 6. If you do the math, that's just under 1 person a week. I don't know what the deal was with this mysterious owner. I never met him, but he was so willing to hand over the reins of his cidery to a lunatic accountant who almost destroyed the business and definitely wrecked a couple weddings. Karen was not worth losing that many employees. In my final month working there, I was offered the position of supervisor because I was the second most senior worker after 4 months. But of course, I didn't take it, and somehow I got out of there alive. Scarred, but alive. Alright, I want to try something new at the end of my videos, kinda like a mini comment contest. The idea is I'll give you a white card prompt to answer in the comments, and whichever is the funniest / whichever one I like the most, I'll award the title of gold card comment at the end of the next video. I think it'd be a fun way to interact more with you guys. If people are enjoying it, I'll keep doing it. And if this is the last you ever hear about it, that means I royally screwed it up and we can just forget about all this. So this video's white card prompt is, the owner probably hired Karen because blank. So write your answers in the comments. I'm excited to see what you come up with. Thanks for watching, press buttons, and I'll yap at you again soon.